Hi everyone, today we are going to discuss about introduction to psychological perspectives of education. So we will explore how psychology influences our education practices and the ways in which psychological perspectives shape the dynamics of the classroom. By the end of this session, I hope to provide you with valuable insight that can be applied to enhance the teaching and learning process. Additionally, I am excited to announce that there will be more sessions on the way to further cover our objectives in depth. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin our exploration of the psychological perspectives that underpin effective education. So here I am showing you what are the objectives we are going to cover, but we may not address all of the objectives today. Today our focus will be on the first objectives. Don't worry, as we progress through the subsequent sessions, we will further explore the remaining objectives as well. What is psychology? As you can see on this slide, the term psychology is derived from the Greek root psyche, meaning soul or mind, and logos, meaning study. Okay, let's now explore the history of psychology. We will cover three main periods. First one, ancient Greek period, and the second one, modern period, and the third one, current status. In the ancient Greek period, we will talk about Aristotle's theory of the soul and empiricism, as well as Plato's beliefs about the soul and innate knowledge. Moving on to the modern period, we will discuss the René Descartes' dualism of body and mind, Wilhelm Wundt's establishment of the first psychology laboratory and structuralism, and J.B. Watson's behaviorism with its focus on observable behavior. We will take a deeper dive into each of these three in the coming slides, so this is just an overview. On this slide, we are going to explore Aristotle's theory of the soul and empiricism. Aristotle explored the concept of the soul and believed that it was the essence of a living being. He also emphasized the importance of empirical observation and sensory experience in understanding the world. What is empirical observation? Empirical observation refers to the practice of gathering information or data through direct observation or sensory experience. By using our senses and directly observing the world around us, we can gain valuable insight into human behavior and the working of the mind. Okay? Next one is about Plato's beliefs about the soul and innate knowledge. Plato considered the soul as the core of an individual psychological experience. He speculated on the existence of innate knowledge and the influence of education on individual development. Plato's concept of innate knowledge refers to the belief that certain knowledge and understanding are intrinsic to the human mind from birth, rather than being acquired through experiences or senses alone. Look this box. Within the book paragraph, he discussed the distinction between nature and nurture, the existence of the soul, and the influence of the education on individual development. If you can't understand enough what I said, I will try to explain it to you in a simplified way. In this slide is going to say about what Plato believes about the soul and innate knowledge. Plato believed that the soul is at the center of the person's thoughts and feelings. He thought that people are born with some built-in knowledge and that education plays a big role in how individuals grow and develop. This idea of innate knowledge suggests that some knowledge is already inside of us when we are born, okay? Instead of just coming from what we learn through our experiences and senses. That's the idea of this one. Okay, now we came to the modern period. Rene Descartes. Rene Descartes is known for his dualistic theory of mind and body. Look at the first one. He saw the mind and body as the separate entities linked through the pineal gland. What it means? Rene Descartes thought that the mind and body are like two different things that are connected through the special part in the brain called pineal gland. Okay? And the second one, his work emphasized the role of rationality and introspection in understanding human thought and behavior. What is here introspection mean? Introspection is the process of examining the one's own thought, feelings, and sensations. And on the other hand, what the rationality means? Rationality refers to the quality or state of being based on or in accordance with reason or logic. What that mean? He believed that we can understand how people think and behave by using our minds to think clearly and look inside our thought to learn more about ourselves. Okay, that's what it means. Okay, now we came to Wilhelm Wundt, known as the father of the experimental psychology. Why he is referred to as a father of experimental psychology? A psychological laboratory made by him, established by him in 1879 in Leipzig, Germany. So he focused on introspection and sought to examine the conscious experiences through objective scientific methods. So he laid the foundation for experimental science. But here called consciousness. Consciousness refers to the state of being aware and perceiving one's surrounding thoughts, feelings, and sensations. Okay, the next one is about J.B. Watson. J.B. Watson is a key figure in behaviorism and a study of observable behavior. He argued that psychology should focus on the study of behavior rather than mental process. Okay, that means we should focus on studying how people act and behave instead of just thinking about what's going on in their minds. Okay, so this helps us understand psychology by doing experiments and looking at the things in an honest and fair way. Okay, that's called experimental and objective approach. Okay, psychology today looks at many different ways of people think and feel. Some psychologists study to know how our brain works, while others look at how we learn and grow. Okay, so psychology encompasses a broad range of perspectives, including cognitive, social, developmental, and neuroscientific approaches. These perspectives study various aspects of human behavior and mental process, examine phenomena such as perception, cognition, social interaction, and brain activity. So the next bullet is saying contemporary psychology. It's a diverse and evolving field incorporating both scientific research and practical applications. Okay, in this section, we are going to discuss about some pioneers' thoughts about the psychology. So, we will start with the Hippocrates. Hippocrates, a Greek physician often referred to as the father of the modern medicine. He made a significant contribution to understanding the human mind and body. And then we will touch on John Locke. He is an English philosopher famous for his work on the tabula rasa concept. It is suggested that mind is blank state at birth and shaped by experience and sensations. These ideas have had profound impact on how we understand human development, learning, and perceptions in psychology in general. Okay, now we are going to learn about Immanuel Kant. So, before that, we are going to discuss about him. I think you can read this passage. But let me simplify it to you. Let's start talking about this Immanuel Kant, who is a German philosopher, made important contribution to understanding of epistemology and the nature of a human cognition. What it means? He is the one who gave us the important insight into how we understand knowledge and how our mind works. Kant believed that our understanding of the world is shaped by two important factors. What are they? Our experiences and our innate cognitive structures. Okay, that's what I highlighted in the red in here. So, when we talk about innate cognitive structures, we are referring to pre-existing mental frameworks or concepts that we have right from the start. Okay, so that means these structures are not something we learn through our experiences. They are part of our natural cognitive makeup. Okay? According to Kant, these innate cognitive structures help us to make sense of the world. They act like filters that shape our understanding of reality. Together with our experiences, these structures guide us in perceiving, interpreting, and organizing information. So, in here I have mentioned out Kant has introduced the concept of a priori knowledge. What is that? This means that there are certain fundamental ideas or categories of thought that are present in our mind even before we have any specific experiences. It's not clear yet, right? So let me give you an example. Think about how we understand the concept of time. Even before we learn about hours, minutes, or seconds, we have an innate framework that allow us to understand the passage of time. It's like we already have a built-in clock in our minds. Okay, so in here, in this box in a blue color, you can see Kant idea have had a significant impact on the field like cognitive psychology and the philosophy of the mind. So, they remind us that our understanding of the world is not solely based on our experiences but also on our inherent cognitive structures. Okay? So, now it's time to talk about foundations of psychology and educational psychology. So, in order to talk about these foundations of psychology and educational psychology, I will incorporate pioneers' ideas to define definitions of psychology and definition of educational psychology with you. Okay, now we come up to the psychology. What is psychology? Psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental processes, encompassing the exploration of thoughts, emotions, motivations, and behaviors. It seeks to understand and explain how individuals perceive, think, feel, and act. Imagine a scientist who is curious about why people behave the way they do and how their minds work. This scientist uses scientific methods and research to study different aspects of human behavior and mental processes. So, the second product emphasized the Wilhelm Wundt. I think I already told you about him. So, he considered as the father of the experimental psychology and he emphasized the importance of using scientific methods to study human behavior and cognition. Now, within the field of psychology, there are various branches or specialized areas that focus on different aspects. One of these branches is called educational psychology. Now, we are moving to that one. Okay, now we are going to discuss what is educational psychology. Please read along with me. Educational psychology is a specialized branch that focuses on understanding how people learn and how instructional methods and environments can optimize effective learning. It draws upon psychological theories and research to address educational issues. What it mean exactly? For an example, educational psychologists may study how students acquire knowledge and skills, what factors influence their motivation to learn, and how different teaching methods or classroom environments can optimize learning outcomes. They use this knowledge to help and develop effective teaching strategies and educational interventions. So the next bullet, John Dewey, a pioneer in educational psychology, emphasized the importance of a child-centered approach to education and the significance of experimental learning. So, as far as now, as a summary, we learned about what is exactly psychology and what exactly educational psychology means. So, psychology is the scientific study of behavior and mental process, exploring areas like thoughts, emotions, motivations, and behaviors. Educational psychology, on the other hand, is a specialized branch within psychology that focuses on understanding how people learn and how to create optimal learning environment and methods. Okay, that concludes today's session. So here are the references for further reading. I look forward to exploring the School of Psychology with you in our next session. So I hope that we already covered the first objective today. So thank you all and I hope to see you in next session. Thank you so much.